What's kind of funny is that Drupal started over here as like a CMS that does everything, and WordPress started as just a blogging platform. And they're kind of meeting in the middle, where Drupal is trying to become more usable, and WordPress is becoming more flexible. If you want, I can show P2 real quick.
Yeah, sure. If you show P2, and then we have another question.
Jay.
Hi, I'm Jay Otway. You can find me on Twitter at Jay Otway. I also am the editor of Charge Magazine, charge.mobi, on WordPress, of course. I've got a few questions from Twitter, Matt, if you've got time for 2 or 3.
Absolutely.
All right. The first one is, if you were hiring someone, what sort of skills would you look for?
That's a good question. What was that? Political science?
Political science.
Yeah. Well, let me answer that question and then I'll show this.
Yeah, maybe get a demo of this.
Okay, well, since this is loaded. So this is P2. When you're logged in, as you can see, this is a post, and then the comments are directly in line, right underneath. Now what I can do is in another window, or is anyone, like Highland, are you online right now? Are you online? Okay, well, I'll do a post here. When you reload it, you'll have a posting box at the very top. And I'm actually still doing this one. So you see you have a post box at the very top, and you can post things there like, howdy. Loading. Now video post. Looks like it's not fully loaded. It's not working for some reason. But, oh, there it is. So do you see how right here, this has now a 1 in front of it, right there? That means that it's detected a new post there. And so, if we go to this one, maybe it'll show up. For some reason. It's not loading for some reason. Well, anyway, regardless, the idea is that new things come in asynchronously and you see them, and maybe if I log out, it'll work again. And you get sort of this really cool real-time view for everything going on for the blog. So it's a great way to have a conversation, if you will, around things that are going on. And it's also nice that all the comments are on the homepage, so you don't actually have to dive into anything to interact with it.
So contrast this with Twitter, I follow the concept.
So it's basically kind of like a Twitter, but private. So you can have your own personal Twitter, say for a team. Like internally, we talk about things the companies we're dealing with, people we're working with, that we wouldn't want to post publicly on Twitter for obvious reasons.
Well, feel free to put them up here now.
But yeah, obviously on here we just have one for almost every project we do. So there's like a WordPress one, there's an intense debate one, a poll daddy one, and all the interaction that's happening there is talking about, you know, sort of lightweight project management, combination of Basecamp and Twitter. So to answer your hiring question, I actually don't look for any specific skills because the skills change from year to year. Right?
Who would make a good addition to this team?
So what we look for is, rather than skills, it's more curiosity, ability to learn, the ability to adapt to new things quickly, right? Because 3 or 4 years ago, I wasn't looking for JavaScript people, but now an ever-increasing portion of the WordPress code base is JavaScript. But I think if you find people who are sort of always learning, always trying new things, they'll be able to adapt to whatever the new technologies are. And then because we're a virtual company, we look for folks who have very good communication skills, online or otherwise, because since 100% of our interaction is typically online, they're written, the ability to communicate clearly via written means is important to just the function of the company.
Next question.
Could you give us a little picture of the future of blogging?
140 characters or less. You have to type it out.
It will definitely.
After all that app replies and hashtags, maybe 100 characters.
It'll definitely be longer than 140 characters. That's all I'll say about the future of blogging. But I think it's going to become multimodal, right? Modal. Meaning that it won't just be about text. It'll be about all different forms of interaction. Be it comments, polls, video, everything like that. Because this is how we interact with online, right? Everything that we do online is fits in lots of different ways. And text will always be around forever. It's been for thousands of years. It'll be around for thousands of years more. But the way we communicate has become a lot higher bandwidth.
Okay. One more question from online. The best one you got?
Are we going to be able to see any WordCamps in Singapore?
Sure. The thing is, all the WordCamps are self-organized, right? We organize specifically the one in San Francisco, but the rest are generally organized more by the local communities. So if the community in Singapore wants to do one, there's no barriers to it. WordCamp is sort of like the open source conference, right?
Okay, so yes, there's a question, sorry. Anybody else after that?
Hey Matt, I'm Nick. I blog at cloneofsnick.wordpress.com.
Cool.
And I wanted to ask you to say something inspirational for the local IT and designers, because I'm not sure if you know, but I think IT folks in Hong Kong are not being valued like they are in America, in the US. So, for example, a few weeks ago, there was a TV program where the girls in Hong Kong would talk about the guys in Hong Kong. And the example that they picked was an IT guy who couldn't find a girlfriend. So
It's definitely not true in America.
Yeah, right? So, inspiration. I mean, you, being young, successful, can be a role model for folks in Hong Kong. So.
Well, the cool thing is that the internet is a great equalizer. It creates an equality of opportunity. I like to joke that when I started WordPress, no one knew I was a 19-year-old kid in Houston who couldn't code. Houston is probably way worse than Hong Kong in terms of the IT scene, the technology scene. There still hasn't been a WordCamp in Houston, for example. But because I was able to connect with folks all around the world who shared my passions around typography and web standards and everything else, things like WordPress are born every day. And there's nothing, I think, anymore about geography that should stop anyone from starting. And actually, when you look at a lot of the more significant things that have impacted, everyone around the world, they're coming from also, actually, Blogger is a great example. You know where Ed is from? The guy who founded both Blogger and Twitter? I don't either. I can't name the town. It's like someplace in the Midwest, someplace totally random, like in Indiana or something. It doesn't matter where you're from. It sort of matters where you're going and how you present yourself online. And I think there's lots of great examples of folks who create a really compelling online presence and build a global audience, regardless of where they are. And there's lots of girls outside of Hong Kong too, I guess.
What's the best blog for picking up women?
Hong Kong Hustle.
But that said about people coming from many places and yourself coming from Houston, Texas, not a known tech place in a lot of ways. Speak a little bit about San Francisco, what it means to be in San Francisco, and what the ecosystem